I've been enjoying so much Spanish wines lately, but I'd like to learn more about them. Well, turns out my local Total Wine is having a Spanish wine class, so I'm on my way, and I'll let you know everything I've learned. Well, stay tuned. Welcome to this week's episode. I had a great time at my Spanish class at my local Total Wine and More, and all of the wines really were great, but there was these three that really stood out to me, and I wanted to share them with you this week. So let's take a look at all three, and then I'll let you know another favorite one that will probably be part of another episode later on. So our first wine is a white Rioja. So it's from Rioja region in Spain, and it's from the grape Vera. And this wine was really quite unique. It is crisp and has some nice minerality. It reminded me of, it had some floral notes and lots of citrus, but a nice medium-bodied and just a real delight. And it's funny, they do ferment a little bit of it in an oak, and it just gives it sort of a nice rounded quality to it. I imagine if you like Chardonnays that aren't too oaky, or even a Chablis that's a lot more on the leaner side, or even say Pinot Grigio, something like that, I think this would be a nice wine for you to try. So again, a sort of a light white wine. It was delicious, and when we had it with some tapas in the class, it was just great. So I'd say this obviously is great if you are enjoy Spanish tapas or appetizers or salads, seafood, things of that nature. This is a great wine to have, and it's not too expensive. Between I think the $10 and $15 range, and pretty easy to find at our Total Wine. It's not always easy to find Spanish wines. But they do exist in the grocery store. So if you want to look for a white Rioja, I think it would be a great one for you to try if you want to try a white wine from Spain. So our second wine really blew me away, and it's an Albarino from Rias Baixas, and it's in the northern part of Spain, and it has a huge influence from the Atlantic, and gives it a really crisp minerality, lots of citrus notes, but had this beautiful honeysuckle and wet stone because of the minerality was quite high, and it reminded me a lot of a Sauvignon Blanc. So if you know you like Sauvignon Blancs, this would be a great one for you to try, and definitely fantastic pairing with lots of shellfish, so shrimp and clams and mussels, oysters of course, but grilled chicken, and I had it with some Spanish cheese. It was great with that. So just a really nice one to enjoy, especially now that the weather's quite warm. At least it is where I am. So this is really nice to have. Really chilled down with some maybe some grilled shrimp. I think it'd be fantastic. So look for an Albarino, and I think you're going to be pretty happy with the Spanish wine. I'm so excited to talk about the third wine, the Bierzo, that uses the Mencia grape. And what a great find. This was a total discovery. It was worth the class just to learn about this wine that I've never had before. So the Mencia grape is from this area, which Bierzo is known as sort of the Golden City. And it's got that name because the Romans used to mine gold there. And the grape, the Mencia grape, has really been planted since the Roman times too. And it produces a whole wide range of different red styles apparently. So the one that they had us try in the class, this one from 2016, reminded me quite a bit of a Gamay or a Beaujolais. And if you've seen our shows, you know how much we like Beaujolais. So it's sort of had a lighter style bodied, some dark fruit, dark cherry, and a little bit of hints of chocolate to it. And it's supple, very supple, fairly low in tannins. But on the spectrum, and our instructor was telling us, but the same grape grown in a different area would be a lot more like a Pinot Noir and a Syrah and have a slightly higher tannin. So this one, it really helps when you get it from a reputable wine merchant where they can really help you figure out what the style is, because, boy, I'd never had it before, let alone what different styles it had. So this was great, and I could see drinking this one with salmon. You could have it with grilled chicken, with even maybe some light pork dishes. Pretty versatile. It just really kind of blew me away. It was so nice to go and then learn about a whole new grape. So check out the Mencia from another part of Spain, Bierzo. And it might be a little difficult to find, but our Total Wine had it. So maybe start there and see what you think. I really would like to know how you liked this wine. Well, I hope you enjoyed looking at the Spanish wines from my Spanish class. I learned so much, and I hope you get a chance to try out some of your local wine stores or even restaurants, because they're just a great way to learn about wine. Find out about the classes. You know, this weekend I went to a wine tasting sort of lecture, and it came with a luncheon at one of my favorite French restaurants. So another great way to walk around and taste 12 different wines. So it's a great way to learn about wines, is to try to sign up and go to wine stores, wine tasting, or even a restaurant. And then you have a lot of fun and you get to drink and eat and socialize. It is a great way to learn about wine. Well, one of the things I learned was Spain, which is not a huge country, actually has the most land devoted to growing vines in the whole world. So, wow, there's a lot of wine out there from Spain. And it turns out that really one of my favorite wines, which is the Rioja from the Tempranillo grape, I knew I liked it. I just wanted to learn more about it. And the class had so much to on Rioja. I have to do a whole other show on Riojas because there's just too much information, and I'm so excited about it. And one of the things that I learned in the class that sort of had a light bulb moment for me was I love Sangioveses. I love my Brunellos and my Chiantis. And I loved my Riojas. And it was the instructor who said, well, you know, people who like Sangiovese tend to like Tempranillo grape. They have a lot of similar characteristics, and then even some of the winemaking techniques in Rioja are very similar to those in Tuscany, Italy. Well, who knew? And that was great. So it really helps open your mind and all the possibilities to the wines that you can enjoy out there. There's always time to learn, and there's always time to explore more of the great world of wine out there. Well, I hope I see you again next week. Please remember to tell your friends and family to subscribe if they haven't already. And I'll continue doing research as I put all of my research together for a Spanish Rioja episode. I can't wait. Stay tuned.